What if I told you the strangest thing humans have discovered on the moon? Neither aliens nor spacecraft wreckage. Can you guess what it is? Scientists have been studying for more than half a century. I haven't been able to explain it clearly to this day. The first is the moon brought back by the Apollo astronauts. There are many small transparent glass balls hidden only a few millimeters in size. These glass balls actually contain water although molecules. The content is only 0.1%. But know that the lunar surface is supposed to be where this water came from remains a mystery. Let's talk about moonquakes. To study the moon, the Americans deliberately crashed the lunar module into the vibrations recorded by the seismometer for several hours on the moon. It's like the whole moon is like a big hollow metal ball. And that's what keeps the idea of a hollow moon alive. And moon rocks. Scientists have discovered the age of some moon rocks, even older than the oldest rocks on Earth. For more than 4.60 billion years. In other words, the moon may be older than our Earth. But it doesn't mean that the moon was an alien body. Is it caused by the debris left behind? Why does he have rocks? The stone is older than the Earth. In 1969, Apollo 12, the Americans made the ascent of the moon directly. Scientists put a seismometer on the moon. I just wanted to measure the vibration. Result instrument display. The moon shook for 55 minutes. It echoes like a copper bell that has been later. Apollo 14 and 15 rocket wreckage also fell. This bizarre phenomenon recurs every time. The moon is like a giant resonator. Let everyone be stunned. Scientists later found the moon is indeed very different from the Earth. First of all, the Earth's rocks contain water, will rapidly consume seismic wave energy. The moon is extremely vibrations short of water. Decay very slowly. Secondly, the moon has undergone countless meteorite full of cracks. Seismic waves can be constantly reflected back and forth in it. The moon vibrates from many sources. Thermal expansion, even meteoroid impacts, completely different from Earth. Subsequent research proves the idea that the moon is hollow. For example, NASA's gravity probe mission has been confirmed. The moon has a differentiated, even a solid iron core and liquid outer core. It's the opposite of an empty shell. In other words, the moon is not hollow. It has a core. What's even more mysterious is has almost no global magnetic in some places there are strong magnetic anomalies. The magnetic force is even stronger than that of parts of the Earth. I can't find a reasonable reason for the formation. Countless astronomers throughout history have recorded the surface of the moon will suddenly glows red and even has a strange rhyme. The Apollo astronauts saw it. But so far, no one has been able to give a definite answer. Since the American Apollo astronauts, after the last landing on the moon, more than humans never set foot on that land again. On Earth's unmanned probe, one by one they were thrown to the moon. In 1976, the Soviet Union's drilled 2 meters on the moon, brought back 170 moons. As a result, scientists found traces of water inside. About 0.1%. Sounds very little, but this was at the time. But it shocked the entire astronomical community. Due to the first contact with water, scientists thought it was just pollution. It may have been brought by the Earth equipment. After all, the moon is a dry planet. There can be no water. In the 90s, scientists have discovered craters at the poles of the moon, and there was no sunlight here for billions of years. The moon's permanently shadowed region. Since the moon's rotation axis is tilted, almost just stands still, 5 degrees. The sun can only rub, so there will never be sunlight in this deep pit. These places have temperatures as low as -240 it's colder than the surface of Pluto. Scientists speculate if an asteroid or comet hits the moon, the moisture it brings may be frozen in these bottom lock for billions of years. Due to the discovery of the existence of water from a dead rock, it has become a cosmic gas station that is to test the conjecture that the moon humans have dispatched the Clement Hall Lunar Explorer after and other orbiters. The result shows there is indeed a large amount of hydrogen. There may be tens of millions at both stages, or even a ton of sailor stores. But here's the thing: this instrument can only tell you that there is a clear. But I can't tell if it's ice or mineral. So scientists threw things directly at the moon. 1999, Lunar Scout hits the moon at the end of its mission. Nothing came out. After 10 years, NASA smashed the rocket directly as soon as the crater fragments landed. The instrument indeed detected methane water and ammonia. This is the first human stone water on the moon. Global media headlines are reporting this news. It feels like decades of suspense have finally been solved. With this impact, scientists made a surprising discovery. It's not just hidden in the shadows. Orbiter on the lunar surface in direct sunlight. It also captures the faint signal of water molecules. And here's what's even weirder. There is a pattern to the appearance of these waters. At noon, when the sun is water signal decreases or even for the sun to go down, cools down. They all came out again. But don't forget, the moon has no atmosphere, no wind, rain, there is no complete water cycle. Where do these water molecules come from? Scientists have proposed two possibilities. The first type is caused by the impact of alien celestial bodies hitting the moon. They have a small amount of water, or directly smashed the water, locked in the moon. The other is solar wind, that the solar wind carries a lot of hydrogen ions, hit the oxygen in the lunar soil to synthesize water molecules directly on this the moon. Also means the entire lunar surface may be thinly covered with a layer of water film. If only humans had the right technology to collect. In this way, future moon base doesn't have to be confined to the danger zone. Almost anywhere can be a foothold. In 2023, India launched target points directly to the South Pole. Everyone expected him to dig up the sailor's stone hammer. After the rover goes laser to the X-ray full open, make the analysis clear. Aluminum cover iron flow. I just didn't see the clear sailors. Is the previous light signal fake, or is the water too deep to reach? I didn't wait to understand. 14 days of moonlight. The temperature plummeted to over minus 100 never woke up, forever asleep at night. But just before hibernation, he left important clues for humanity. Surface lunar soil temperature, 8 centimeters Celsius, but plummeted to minus 10 degrees Celsius. That lunar soil is like the surface is reheated. It's still cold down there. This explains why no sailors were found. Maybe just be quiet, lying in the shadows a few centimeters below. And we just didn't dig deep enough. Now, the question is no longer whether there is water. It's about whether we can dig it up. Current detectors have limited accuracy. Scientists know. Next task, we need a stronger drill and more advanced extraction to really pierce the last layer of window paper. So why is the water on the moon so important? Because humanity to do whatever it dig it out. Water is the most important condition for it is the key to everything. It actually talks about cooking, support the lives of astronauts, and it can be broken down into hydrogen rocket fuel. The moon's attractive force is only 1/6 that of the Earth. Asteroids to Mars and beyond, the cost will be greatly reduced. Water forms a closed-loop recycling is in use. They even help grow crops. Let the moon base be completely free from Earth's supplies for decades. All we get are fragmented clues. There is a light signal, but the landing site cannot be fine steam, but no ice. The shaded areas are cold enough, but I didn't get a clear reflection. Like the moon, always when man is about to understand a big joke on us. A new generation of detectors is already stronger, on the way. Finer spectrometers, smarter sampling systems are coming along. Perhaps in the near future, we can really go deep into the moon. That solid sailor. That moment, Earth will no longer be just the birthplace. It is the starting port of human beings to the universe.